My computer's not set up to do this smoothly. Am I sharing the audio?
Hey man, I see trees of green.
Okay.
And red roses too.
I see the moon, lonely and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
So what we have here, gentlemen, is an Asian man doing blackface imitating Louis Armstrong in a singing competition.
That's
Bro,
amazing.
bro.
Like, assuming that's his real voice.
I think
That's
so.
amazing.
No, it's not. He's lip syncing.
Oh,
This is cosplay. It's one of the Weebic art.
They're really saying,
I'm less impressed.
You.
This does remind me how much I hate broadcast television in the United States, though.
What a wonderful
Now I want to go to sleep.
Is that not the greatest thing you guys have ever seen?
I mean, I don't know. So, hi everybody. Welcome to the Gospel of Comics.
Apparently, we're only on YouTube right now. Rumble is having issues. God damn it. Anyways, keep going.
So, we're currently churchless, and we're possibly runeless, but we have Soder here.
Hello.
And Soder, how exactly do you know Church? And did Church send you DMs explaining why he brought you here?
Let me pull up Twitter quick. All I remember is, hey man, how you been? Want to come on the show on Saturday? And I was like, sure, why not? Let's see. What was a week ago?
A weekish ago.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, here it is. October 11th. Hey Soder, want to come shit post on a show coming up? Was it like like a guest on your show? Church, yeah. Me. Oh, or shit post to advertise it. These messages were like bam, bam, bam.
I mean, that
Church.
checks out.
I mean, I'd hope both, but if you just want to come on, that's fine too. Usually we're on at 9 p.m. Central. Me. I think I could swing that. Let me talk to the wife this Saturday. Him. If you're free, the door is always open to you, though. I just haven't heard from you in a bit. Wife's fine with it. Excellent. Blah blah blah. And then whatever happened last week that blew up the show.
Well, Church had internet problems, I think it was.
It was a family matter, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Could be related to internet, these days.
Or it could be internet. So you're just here to hang out.
What's less embarrassing? My internet went out, or my son's throwing a fit and I can't record a show right now.
Well, I mean, Church has had some troubles with his children of an honest variety.
Uh,
I mean, Soder's been on the show before.
Yeah,
well before you
but
were
as
part
to
of it, Larry.
The other question.
I know.
Oh gosh, how long ago was it? When I was doing your job, McCartney, for Q. I don't know how they exactly got hooked up.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it was
right.
probably,
That's what it was.
and we just went on each other's shows from time to time. While the other, like him and Q, talked about comics and their impressive collections and
they're very large collections.
Yeah, they're very large collections. And me here, like the most I own now, or at the time, was maybe Doug TenNaples' Earthworm. No, Bigfoot Bill.
That's it?
Yeah. Well, it's expanded now. Now I have his Earthworm Jim comics.
Oh, okay.
And I forget the guy's name, but they did a zombie comic a couple years ago, and they finally shipped, I think earlier this year. Dark Tide
Johnny
Rising.
Fant. Oh, that's a different one that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it was based on the books Dark Tide Rising.
Do you know which one that is, Larry? I've been so out of the comic loop lately.
They're quite a lot
Yeah,
of them, but I am not familiar.
It's been
So
a
do we
while
want to
since
start up?
Anyway, that's
Yeah,
how
so
that's how I know church and been on the show before. Is I have no idea why.
I know. So do we want to start off with feeding the audience trash, and then playing our greatest hits from our Twitter DM group?
Yeah, what's this
Let's do
trash
it.
that we're doing?
Well, I want to start with what I've watched most recently, as in literally I stopped watching it just in time to come onto the show. It's a little movie on Netflix called School for Good and Evil. It's a story about a little girl who lives in a shitty rural town and wants to become a fairy tale princess. And her friend, who's hated on by all the people in the shitty rural town, who doesn't want to become a fairy tale princess. But the one who becomes the fairy tale princess goes kind of crazy and evil for a bit. And the other one becomes the princess and is like, nah, girls rule, boys drool. Not quite that ending, but basically that ending. And then they say the end, question mark. It's a classic bit of deconstruction that comes from young adult books that decides
As
to,
one does.
as one does, which decides to equate fairy tale villains with gay people. I mean, it's a weird flex, but I mean, it's a consistent flex. And
Is it an incorrect flex?
I mean, I think it's incorrect if you don't want gay people to be a hated minority. Now, if you do
That's
want them
fair.
to be a hated minority, then maybe it is a correct flex. I don't know. I'm learning. We live in the age where people are telling us things and we're listening and learning to believe.
Is that what we're doing?
No, not going at all.
Now I have to try and find the screen text that I saw the other day. Keep going though.
So basically, the goody who wants to be in the goody princess school falls in love with the personification of raw evil, and he,
As women do.
as women do, and because she falls in
Oh, I
love
thought
with him.
personification of raw pure evil was women.
No,
that's misogynist.
Because she falls in love with him, all the fairy tale world gets inverted. You know, life goes to death, up goes to down, darkness to light. You know, all that good stuff. And then at the end, all the baddies and the goodies go to one school together and learn to be friends. This is terrible. And Morgan Freeman was sleeping through his portion of it. Not Morgan Freeman, Lawrence Fishburne. Lucy Liu. No,
isn't he
not Lucy Liu?
Dead?
No, he's not. Neither.
I mean, like, speaking.
I mean, spoiler for a shitty movie on Netflix. He was dead the whole time. But he was actually the evil guy pretending to be the good guy. And Michelle Yeoh was in there
pretending to be a dude who's also another dude.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Good guy pretending to be a bad guy, pretending to be a good guy who's wrapped up in a bad guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't recommend anybody watch this. I do recommend cyberbullying Netflix for making this. As you should cyberbully major corporations whenever possible.
And public figures. Hey, Larry, would you like to read the screen text that I put up on the screen?
Be me, gay. Meet a cute boy at the gym. He's doing squats, so I guess he's a gay bottom. Press X to doubt. We talk and really hit it off. We start to hang out outside the gym. We go to cafes to drink coffee, etc. We become great friends and hang out in each other's homes. One day, while watching a movie, things get heated. We start to make out, and I'm on top of him, ready to D him down. I take off his shirt. Oh, I remember the screen text. She has little boobs. Oh my god, she's a boy modder. Feels too awkward to stop now. So I suck her keys and F her until we both come. I guess I'm straight now. We start dating and have sex many more times. I stop masturbating to gay porn, and I eventually lose all interest in the same sex.
Based.
The other show that I saw on Netflix that was actually good is a Korean show called Glitch.
Is
And
this the Wikipedia thing you want me to pull up?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Hold on.
So Glitch is a show about a little Korean girl who is
Ah.
super into, hey Rune, who is super into UFO stuff. And then she has an incident where she thinks she passed out because she was sniffing glue.
Oh
When in
God.
actuality,
good
she
time.
was touched by an alien. Then years later, you gave it a great time, Rune.
Yeah, I apologize for being late. I was in a different conversation. That being said, do you guys want another guest, or
Wait,
should I just?
Hold on, Larry.
Hmm.
Did you mean to send me the Wikipedia article for what a glitch is, as in the computer term?
No. No. That is a glitch from Wikipedia. You want Glitch, the South Korean TV series, which is also glitching in the private chat.
I was really confused.
Oh my
for a
gosh, it is.
second.
Well, while we resolve this, let me ask: do you guys want another guest, or should I just give them the link to view?
Who is this other guest?
His name is Raven Wolfgar, and he's a fellow tabletop nerd that I've been on his podcast more than once. He's pretty mellow.
I mean, is there a limit to how many people we could drag into this? Because eventually
10.
Church is going to wake up. I mean, sure, bring him in.
Okay,
Nope,
cool.
I got the same link again.
That is weird, man. That's weird.
Doomed.
Let me go.
So anyway,
Hey, but wait a minute.
I
Ayrton,
blame the alt-right on this and their hideous programming.
Ayrton, how's my mic?
Good.
it is actually good
Yeah.
for a change.
That's because I got the cable finally.
Ah,
Nice.
No
fantastic.
cable. I feel like I'm out of the joke here.
Oh,
Well,
he just had a
Bruce
shitty
has
mic
microphone
cable.
problem. Yeah.
I do need to turn
Well,
you
we
back
got-
down a little bit, though.
We got
He
this.
got a shitty mic cable, or he replaced the shitty mic cable.
Yes.
He replaced it. Yeah. So anyway, Korean girl thinks she has a bad glue sniffing episode. Becomes a straight arrow. Boring salary woman gonna marry a guy. She's not really into him. And oh yeah, she sees aliens all over the time. And she's seeing a psychiatrist about it. And then one thing leads to another. Her boyfriend goes missing because he's kidnapped by a conspiracy who think he's the chosen one with the UFOs and the aliens. Eventually, the girl.
I found an Australian TV program called Glitch, but we all know Australia's not real, so
Exactly.
that can't be right.
And then there, as part of the shenanigans, there's a guy who's a UFO investigator who joins the UFO cult to get his daughter out. But it turns out that his daughter was in the cult willingly. She didn't get kidnapped. And eventually, the girl confronts the aliens and realizes that she was a lesbian all along.
Oh,
Okay, I think I
you had
figured
me
out.
up until that last spoiler.
I think I figured out why the link's not working, Larry. If you look in the private chat, it is either putting a space in between.
It's putting the
Or it's-
space in.
It's just a nature of the thing that the bracket is separate from the rest of the link.
It's okay, I found it.
And the UFO cult was going to kill themselves. And they end this season with a cliffhanger of, are they going to go to the United States to find Bigfoot?
Oh, hell yeah.
So this is a documentary about the DNC.
Set up for season 2.
This is a Korean drama. And also she ties in her memories of her childhood trauma of losing her friend to the disappearance of her baseball team. And she also ties the disappearance of her baseball team to the aliens.
This is great. This is a great thing to come in on and not know what the hell's going on.
I actually really want to watch this.
And
this looks
and
great.
the character who later becomes her girlfriend, who was her best friend in middle school, she becomes an active micro YouTuber focused on UFO issues. She starts with live streams that only have 5 to 10 people, and she eventually gets up to 1,000. So
Oh.
it's the
One
most
can hope.
relatable character.
So I'm gonna disrupt this plan here. Hello, my name is Rune. I don't believe you and I have met, Solder.
Probably not.
Soder.
Nice to meet you, though.
Soder. Hello.
Hello.
Soder hangs out in like the Ricada vein and stuff. That's where me and Church know him from.
Oh, so he's someone of quality rather than the
No,
usual
no,
cascade
not at all.
of
Don't let them hear you say that.
oh.
And I also know Soder from Ricada, mainly whenever I've had problems on Ricada's Discord, and I've had to go to Soder saying, please help make Discord not suck. Unfortunately, there's
That's
only so many
impossible.
there's only so much he can do because Discord was made by evil furries.
You could
You mean
just
the
say
X-Men?
furries.
Well, they may be evil furries, but unlike the alt tech morons who made StreamYard, they can actually get links to work.
Right?
Say what you will about them, but they make good link parsers.
Exactly. And so, Rune, are you familiar with the School of Good and Evil, which is part of a terrible young adult series, apparently?
No.
Very well. Then I won't circle back to that one to try to bring you in, because the review that most of our audience is going to care about is Black Adam, which may be one of the dumbest movie scripts I have ever encountered.
Do we want to save that till a bit later? I feel like Rune
Yeah.
had something he wanted to talk about.
Well, I was trying to bring an associate in. He hasn't wandered in yet. He might be like
Okay.
grabbing a restroom break or something. I have
Okay.
to actually go feed my mom,
Oh, well, fine.
despite being late. But I do want to hear about Black Adam.
All right, we'll wait for
Because
you to get back.
I mean, I love the idea that apparently it's a big dumb action movie, but I'm also confused
Oh, it's
by
so
the
stupid.
but I'm also confused by the sheer vitriol it's getting.
It's
Because
it's wonderfully stupid. It's like my kind of stupid.
Well, because here's the thing. The people who are attacking it, right? Extremists, right? Did we forget that The Rock is Polynesian,
A person of color?
or New Zealand? Yeah.
And a one-note actor.
I mean, he doesn't
definitely.
He doesn't have to be more than one note. He walks onto the stage and flexes. That's his job.
Yeah, I mean, he was
he's damn
perfect for
good at
the
it.
role, but he's a one-note actor.
I mean, do we want to talk about while we wait to talk about how Kevin Spacey somehow keeps getting away with this?
Wait a minute. You mean getting away with not having done anything?
Well, that's the thing. A jury found him not guilty. The jury didn't find him innocent, as someone might say. But
Right.
Let me go find that link.
I'm not actually coming out in favor of Kevin Spacey. I'm just finding it very interesting that back to back, the Cosby stuff is in doubt, Weinstein stuff is in doubt, and Spacey stuff is in doubt.
The Cosby thing is a lot more substantively in doubt.
Yeah.
Because the previous DA said, hey, listen, here's all the reasons why we're not going to criminally charge him, but we're going to make a deal so Mr. Cosby can have a civil suit with all these people and sort this business out. And then a guy ran for office saying, I'm going to send Bill Cosby to jail. He lost, and then later became the judge that heard the trial that sent Bill Cosby to jail. But his protege became the DA, who also campaigned on the issue of, I'm going to send Bill Cosby to jail. So fundamentally, Bill Cosby was denied a fair trial.
Yeah.
Which is
Holy cow.
one of the basic foundations of democracy. You know, a little thing that's supposed to matter in this country.
No, you can have fair courts in a month.
You know, I've heard of it. I've heard of democracy.
Democracy's fake and gay. Welcome, Raven Wolfgar.
Thank you for having me.
What a wonderful time to wander in. We're talking about Bill Cosby.
So Raven, do you hang out in one of the gamer circles that our good friend Rune has drugged me into?
Yes.
Or
Wolfgar is in the I don't like to attribute to people. He's on Gilded, which is a Discord alike where there's an OSC, OSR, BroSR circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually hanging out in the Basic Experts channel,
There you go.
and we talk all kinds of things. It's not just. I mean, we could talk the OSR for days, but the fact of the matter is, and this was something that got brought up in discussion once, and I can't remember who said it, but I really wish I could credit them because it was a brilliant thought, and it was when we were discussing whether or not the OSR was dying. The conclusion was that it's not, but there's only so much you can do with the original D&D, the Basic Expert, BECME, AD&D 1E and 2E. There's only so much you could do with those rules as core books. Eventually, the bread and butter is going to be in the published adventures that come out for those rule sets. And from the look of this one D&D thing that's coming up here pretty soon, there's really we're going to be looking at possibly third edition, 3.5, 4, and even fifth edition eventually becoming or being considered, old school.
I mean, it's kind of a mistake if you start defining your culture or your peer group by we're the old guard, because everything eventually becomes the old guard.
Exactly. Yeah.
But welcome to the Gospel of Comics.
Thank you.
With your host who's
Soder,
not here,
I'm
Church of
sorry
Failure.
for the heavy. Soder, I'm sorry for the heavy nerd talk. We'll get into
That's okay.
Kevin Spacey
That's
and
okay.
talking about molestation in a minute. Don't worry.
The shorthand is
I'm just gonna sit back here. I'm gonna crack jokes. I'm gonna maybe say something that my mother would not like me to say.
I'll make sure to send her a link.
I think that's all of us to one point or
I'm
another.
probably gonna have to go refill my screwdriver here because I started out with a full 32-ounce cup, half ice, half vodka, half orange juice.
What kind of?
And just some shit Russian brand. I don't even know. It was cheap.
Is it? Do you fresh squeeze your orange juice yourself?
Oh no, I'm too white trash to do that.
Oh jeez.
The best way to think of this podcast is it's a group of friends who like games, comics, and movies sitting at a bar, being drunk and bullshitting.
Hey, I'm not as thin as you drunk I am.
Exactly.
No. You and Church do the drinking for RuneKnight.
Yeah.
That's true. We in Church are both drinking for two.
At least we have a designated podcaster.
Yeah, we range from a little bit blue and inappropriate in the way your mama wouldn't like to erudite, and occasionally you actually wonder, have we gone too far? We don't quite put on the rike, but we do like our very inappropriate jokes.
You mean like bacterial vaginosis?
Speaking of drunk, I have a story for you guys. You're gonna love this.
All right. You guys have this story. I'm gonna go take care of my mom. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
So the story goes like this. I actually worked in a prison, and I worked with a guy who was in his off time. This guy was a bit of a workaholic. So in his off time, he worked as a deputy sheriff in one of the neighboring, what you would call counties, we called parishes, because this was Louisiana. So I come to work and I'm hanging out with him, and normally he's pretty talkative about what's going on, but this particular day he just looked confused, and I went, Johnny, what's going on, man? And he said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go to court on something. I was like, really? What happened? And he told the story about how he pulled a guy over who was driving erratically, and he radioed back to headquarters, got out of his car, walked up to the car, shined his flashlight in there. The driver's seat is empty, and there's this guy sitting on the passenger side. He's buckled in, and he taps on the window with the flashlight. Guy leans over and rolls it down. And again, this is Louisiana, so the accents are going to come out. And he looks at me and goes, he's glassy eyed, looks like he doesn't know where he is. And he's like, yeah. And he said, hey, where's the driver? And the guy just kind of looks around and goes, I don't know. He was here a minute ago. He goes, come on. Were you driving and you just moved over? And he goes, Me driving? Oh hell no! I'm fucked up. He ended up arresting the guy.
That is pretty good New Orleans accent.
That's a Cajun accent, and actually, Louisiana has about like 5 different accents. So
Yeah,
you have a Texas influence, which is Southwest. That's where I'm from,
yeah.
and of
That
course,
makes
that's all
sense.
Cajun. That's Cajun country right there. You go north to like Shreveport, and you're going to have more of like an Arkansas and Oklahoma influence, more Arkansas than anything. Still
And for some
Cajun.
reason, New Orleans sounds like the Bronx.
The New Orleans, you have more of a Creole accent and more Mississippi influenced. But still, you've got Cajuns there too.
Oh, did I finally get it? Hell yeah! I think I got Rumble working. All right.
Oh,
Huzzah.
Sorry,
fantastic.
guys. I'm working on that. All right.
So the key thing
All right, now I can go.
to
1-6 was an inside job. Nancy Pelosi totally did everything. She paid all of them to break in and then let them all hang to dry. Mike DeLasta is a Fed.
I mean, yes, I agree 100% with that one. we all know he's a Fed, but so apparently
Okay, now, how do I
Kevin
find
Spacey-
the stream?
Kevin
On
Spacey
Rumble.
apparently won his whole case by arguing that his accuser made it all up because it was similar to something that happened in a play he was in.
Oh, nope. Rumble fucked up again. God damn it. Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry. Jumped the gun on that 1-6
okay.
stuff.
Just kidding, y'all. LOL.
God damn it.
See,
All right.
alt-right just can't do it right.
Mm.
Got to be left to get it right.
I mean,
Should we Tim pull this? Talk about the culture war, how the right can't win the culture. I'll
Well,
go
no,
put a
no, we're-
beanie on
we're-
real quick. Hold on.
but yeah, so apparently also he couldn't describe what Kevin Spacey's house looked like. So, Soder, what do you think about all this? Do you think that Kevin Spacey somehow pulled a Sam Hyde and
I think he
somehow
pulled
got away
Sam
with
Hyde. He totally did it. He
I'm
drugged the guy
pretty
or
sure
something.
Sam
I've
Hyde is
watched
Kevin
that.
Spacey when he shaves.
Oh, what's that? What's that show he was in? He was the president. I only watched, like,
House
one
of Cards.
season. Yeah, House of Cards. He totally did it. Like, he
I
took.
mean,
People think
the British-
that Frank Underwood is a character that he plays. No, Frank Underwood is Kevin Spacey.
and
I mean, those 4 guys who just died. I mean, come on.
look. They said we all were sexually abused by Kevin Spacey, and we all have evidence that would lead to the conviction of Hillary and Bill Clinton. Wait, we got Rebel Dork, right?
It was working for a second, but then it decided to fuck off again. We
Man,
can
what
still
did you
try and
do
get
to
banned
make-
on YouTube. I
What
don't
did you
know.
do to make the Canadians angry? What did you do to
Actually-
Viva Fry?
Actually, if I remember, Rumble's moving down to Sarasota, Florida, where I'm from. That's where they're building their U.S. headquarters.
And Soder, I'm from the Metro Detroit area, so I talk a lot of shit against Canada. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were mad at me. Those maple syrup smelling fucking snow monkeys.
I mean, lots of people from Detroit go up to Windsor to lose all their money in the casino.
Yeah, you should lose your goddamn money here on American soil, so it goes to Americans. You goddamn traitors.
Yeah, give it to the native Americans, not the
Well, that's
native
right.
Yeah.
Canadians.
Fuck, you beat me to it.
We're right now putting some filler time in because we want to put in a good amount of time with Black Adam, and we don't want to take away the joy of being part of that conversation from Rune. Let me see
Definitely.
if we had anything else good. Hey, do we want to talk about Ben Shapiro versus Evan Klein?
Evan
Jew v.
Klein.
Jew.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's talk about that for a little bit. That'll be some good content.
Can you-
And I'm
can you
sharing
put that
this.
story to me somewhere.
I did. I just did right now.
Okay.
I'm linking that to you as a Jew on the show.
Oh, geez. I feel my foreskin's shrinking.
Evan Klein, when talking about the context of Ben Shapiro and Ben Shapiro's support of the Yahtzees and the alt-right, said, quote, "I hope Ben gets gas first."
The Yahtzees.
And again, I want to repeat that this is what Evan Klein said.
Ethan
This got
Klein.
Evan Klein. Ethan Klein.
Look, if
What is
they
it
could
with
go
people-
after the Papa John's founder for asking, like, what word can't I say? This word? They're going to get
no,
you
no.
for Yahtzees.
Ethan actually got out. He got out
They let
from
him
under
back
this,
in?
even though they let him back in. What is it about people named Ethan being kind of jerks online?
We did a whole show on that.
We did.
Do we have
include
more data
Ethan
than two
Klein in
people?
this?
Because I'm willing to draw conclusions from just two.
Well, we had Ethan Klein, and did we have another Ethan involved in there, or was it just Ethan and Ethan?
I'm
It
I'm
was
guessing he
Ethan
was
Ralph,
meaning
Ethan
Ralph.
Van Sciver. Yeah.
Oh.
And now Ethan Klein.
Wait,
That is-
wait.
that is
thought-
three
what
What
different.
did that Ethan Van Sciver ever do to anyone besides not deliver comics?
Not deliver comics for
Well, he did a
3
lot of
fucking
things.
years. Well, he did
did a
other
lot of
things too,
things.
but do you want to
And
give
then
him
there's-
the short of it, Larry?
I
No,
am.
because I'm not.
I am returned.
Oh, good. We were just
Um,
missed out on our talking about Ethan Klein versus Ben Shapiro.
My
Where,
argument.
Ben-
My argument is, if there's another Halo cost, I hope Master Chief gets it in the neck.
But Ben Shapiro, in response to Ethan Klein saying if there was another Yahtzee Holocaust, when Ethan Klein said Ben Shapiro, he hoped he gets gas first, Ben Shapiro said the correct thing. If there was another Holocaust, I would hope that Ethan and his family escaped. But maybe that's just me.
I mean, much like Treebeard, broken clock can be right twice a day.
He was
All
right about
right.
the Boy Scouts.
Now, I'm curious. Does anyone know what Ben Shapiro thinks about George Soros?
He doesn't care for him.
I was about to
Because
look- I'm gonna Google
I mean, with
this for
how Ethan gets back on YouTube and is in YouTube's favor, despite his clearly anti-Semitic leanings, you think, is he the George Soros?
That is an interesting question, which actually, unironically, segues into Black Adam.
No,
Oh
it
my
doesn't.
God.
No, actually, Larry, it segues into this article that I stumbled upon while Googling Ben Shapiro and George Soros together. From the Boston Globe. This is called
Are you-
On Bad Jews.
Ayrton, are you just going to read us your fan fiction?
Yes. God damn it. I can't.
No,
It
no.
won't let me read them. I'm paying, you fucking assholes.
Paywall.
All right, never mind.
It's best not to. It's best not to
Wait.
get involved in it. But let's talk about Black Adam, one of the dumbest movies
All
made
right,
by a
let's talk
major
about
movie
Black Adam.
studio. So, first of all, who here likes?
Has anybody else seen it?
No,
I've seen the trailer.
Okay, so
I've seen the trailer.
Ayrton and
You've
I
seen the
are
movie.
going to be non-spoilery in how we describe this movie because I'm going to say it's incredibly stupid and one of the worst written movies I have ever seen. It's entertaining to watch Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson casually murder people and punch people
With
throw
lightning
weapons
powers.
at people. Yeah, it's entertaining. Also, Pierce Brosnan does an excellent job playing Dr. Fate. The young actor who played
He's definitely my favorite part of the whole movie.
the young actor who played Atom Smasher. He had a nice genial attitude about him. I would have liked to have seen him do more in this movie. Of course, I also would have liked this movie to have not had too many moving parts. But, I can't go back in time and say, listen, I know you have one of the most bankable movie actors in Hollywood, but could you try making this movie not be stupid?
So no, I have one question before we go on. Does anybody care about Black Adam, like the character from
Dwayne "The Rock"
like,
Johnson does. That's
Well,
why this movie was made.
I saw he was a producer, but like in the comic sphere, is he a popular character? Because I've only ever
No.
read stuff with him in
Well-
it, like as an ancillary character.
Well, there's two things. He is important insofar as he is a major antagonist for Shazam. So if you like Shazam,
Yeah.
you are familiar with Black Adam.
Hey! In this house, we say Captain Marvel.
No, we
In
don't.
your
We say
house, I'm over
Shazam.
here in Washington State. We say Shazam. But the other thing is that he had a very good part or a very good specific plot line where Black Adam basically takes over a Middle Eastern state and as an autocrat and becomes a low-key Doctor Doom. Right?
But
Setting off
somehow
this-
less evil.
But setting off this whole idea that Justice League, the cartoon, actually explored with more intelligence of a superheroes arms race where countries that have superheroes or the best superheroes make the rules. So Black Adam has his place. The thing that I don't understand about the criticism as I have seen it is people are like, Black Adam is a movie about being evil and that murder is okay. And it's like, yeah, if you've never read Black Adam, because let me tell you, he's kind of a guy who's okay with murder and might be a villain, because he is.
Yeah, the movie doesn't say murder's okay, but it doesn't say it's not okay. It does, however, say
It's
sometimes
okay.
you gotta
if
murder
The
some
Rock
people.
does it.
Exactly. So there are a lot of problems with this movie. One of the first parts is that it says, okay, nobody knows who Black Adam is, so we need to spend a good amount of time explaining Black Adam's backstory. Okay, so he's a guy who murders people a lot. Well, we need to have him be redeemed by the end of the movie. So they put in a redemption arc that feels tacked on, stupid, and unearned. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson delivers the acting for that the best of anything he does in this movie. Everything else he does is flat. When he tries to humanize Black Adam, it's like going, oh, Dwayne's actually acting here. That's weird. It's a really weird flex.
I mean,
I just want to point out real quick. I knew almost exactly how long Rune was gonna go on a soliloquy for, and had just about enough time to make another old fashioned while he was doing it.
Nice.
Anyways,
Thank you very much.
So we waste a lot of time explaining who Black Adam is because no one in the audience knows. Because almost nobody is as passionate in the audience watching a Black Adam movie as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, because literally this movie was made because he said, hey, Zack Snyder, I hear you're making DC Comics movies. I want to be Black Adam.
Well,
They said, but we want you to be Shazam. And he's like, no. I want to play Black Adam.
Well, because he wants to fist fight with Superman, and because he's a big friend of Henry Cavill, and I'm like, okay, I'm down.
Which they tease at the end of the movie, but but
so then they introduce us to this vaguely Middle Eastern country, and this is one of my problems with the world building in the DC universe versus the Marvel Comics universe.
Yeah,
when Marvel invents a fake country, they at least invent it in a way that makes sense. This was the oldest independent country in the Middle East, except it's not been for a long time now. What? That's really weird. And now it's being run by a bunch of mercenaries. What? It's really weird.
Yeah, they kind of rushed through that part, didn't they?
They did. And they put a kid in there because Black Adam needs a kid to further humanize him.
Yes.
And basically, it's John Connor and the T-800 from Terminator 2. That's
Holy
the character
shit,
arc with
you're
the
right.
kid and Black Adam in the movie.
God damn, I didn't put those two together when I was watching it.
Well,
That's 1,000% right.
Complete with the kid trying to get Black Adam to correctly say a catchphrase when he murders people.
That was fantastic. Tell him the Man in Black sent you.
No, you need to say that before you kill them.
Oh.
That was a line for the movie, bro.
That was a whole exchange.
Well, I mean, I have to ask if that's the context. Who's the T-1000?
Black Adam.
Well, no, the T-1000
Or
is
T-1000, sorry.
the T-1000 gets introduced in the complete and total train wreck of the third and fourth act, but we'll get there in a minute. There is a T-1000, but they don't bring him in until the very end of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially,
I'm already depressed, but continue.
After we get like the quick backstory of Black Adam, we jump forward to the mom and her brother and somebody else.
And some guy and the
looking,
secret villain, who's obviously the secret villain.
Obviously. Looking for a crown made of some bullshit material.
Eternium. It's Eternium.
Some bullshit material, as I say.
That has the power to contain 6 evil demons in it.
And they find the crown and awaken Black Adam. And
he proceeds to murder people.
And the cave starts to crumble in on itself. And I'll have to say that first action scene with all the slow-mo and shit, that was sweet.
And the musical accompaniment for all the really big dumb action scenes was all on point, in my personal opinion.
It was.
And then Black Adam discovers, wait a minute, I actually have something that I'm weak to, because the bad guys figured out how to take the MacGuffin material and weaponize it.
Yes, the magic bullshit material.
I was in the audience of a podcast earlier today because I visit other podcasts. I'm cheating on you with other podcasts.
How
dare you?
And they were talking about the MCU, and they didn't ask me on. That's fine. But one of the things that they missed in their conversations, in my opinion, is that the MCU started as decentralized. There wasn't a plan to make it a cinematic universe. It became a cinematic universe over time, right? But they were also talking about, because it was in relation to Rings of Power, things that aren't being done as people race to try and make cinematic universes. Like cinematography itself is now becoming a lost art because people don't know how to stage a shot anymore, right?
Well, because it's all computer generated now,
right? But not even you're standing in front of a green screen. Just, do we put the camera right up in your face, or do we put it back as a flat and we have you both stand in the room where we can see you? When and where should you use a Dutch angle, if at all? That sort of thing. What's a Dutch angle?
Is it anything like a Dutch? Is it anything like a Dutch oven?
No. But if you want to know what the Dutch angle is, watch Battlefield Earth. They use that every third shot.
Well, to really know a Dutch angle, we'd have to get Wolfgar's associate and mine, Victor Gorchev, in here, because he's Dutch and he can tell us what a Dutch angle looks like because he's a human oven.
Is it anything like this?
No.
Oh
no!
I mean, I wish.
Not even close.
Oh, damn it!
Where's my bat?
I mean, maybe if her gazungas were like off kilter, so that one was taller than the other, then you have a Dutch angle.
Oh, okay.
Rotate your head 45 degrees, and you have a Dutch angle.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let this just roll for a bit, see if we can use tits to bring in more viewers.
Sure.
So,
but no, what I was gonna say is that in the realm of lost arts, since we're making these Terminator comparisons, do people not understand that you have to introduce your villain early and create menace by having that antagonist be present throughout?
He was in the very beginning of the movie.
We knew he was the villain. It was obvious he was the villain, but he was pretending not to be.
He had like villain face, kind of like blackface, but for evil.
Right. He had the resting bitch face of evil because obviously good people are always smiling and happy.
And
it's always the villains who are laughing.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, Black Adam gets taped up, and the kid introduces him to the superhero industrial complex.
I love that line. That was amazing.
I'm just saying you can't create tension and make me, concerned about. Oh no, it's the T-1000 when it's a third act reveal. I need that thing in game early.
Well, Rune. Not only was it a third act / fourth act reveal, he also has an evil laser that he shoots into the sky.
Another one. We're
Yeah.
shooting lasers into the sky again to destroy the planet.
I thought we were talking about Black Adam, not
We are.
Suicide Squad.
We are.
Or is it the Suicide
Oh
Squad?
wait,
And-
are we not talking about Man of Steel, which also had a laser being fired into the sky?
Or
That one
Avengers
had a
1,
laser
2,
being fired
3.
into the core, I thought.
Also, don't forget, Avengers had an evil laser shot into the sky.
I mean, if we want to go way back, we can talk about Independence Day, which had a giant laser fired from a giant UFO directly onto a building. That was pretty awesome.
But that was from the sky, not into the sky.
Right, and those are totally different. Because I breathe through my mouth.
but then we get introduced to the Justice Society of America, who are working for Amanda Waller.
Which is
Why are they working for Amanda Waller?
The best part of the
cares?
movie.
No.
And
Church, no.
What? I thought she was Black Ops.
She is.
She
but,
is.
But
Yeah.
her,
She
her skin
shouldn't.
color doesn't matter, Soder.
It's twofold. One, she shouldn't be there,
God.
and two,
Dang
they
it,
need
I
a
walked
Nick.
right into that one.
They need Girl Fury because this is an Avengers analog.
Basically. And
Pretty
Hawkman
much.
is the worst part of the Justice Society.
Always
No.
has been.
And here's the thing.
It's
Here's
the
the thing.
best part because I know Church would hate it because Church hates Hawkman. So on principle, I had to enjoy that part.
But my problem is the
Ayrton,
actor
Ayrton, I have
Hawkman.
to know: have you collected Hawkman gifts and/or images to barrage Church with when the time is right?
I mean, I was going to for this review, but he's asleep.
But
Speaking
here's
of, I'm
the
gonna
thing
try
about
and
the
call him
actor.
again while we're on.
The actor who played Hawkman was competing with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for having the most flat performance of any of the actors. in the movie.
Oh man.
hey, it's a race to the bottom to be flatter than the CGI Scorpion King. Okay.
And then a ray of sunshine comes down where there's Pierce Brosnan, who actually knows how to act and communicate his character.
Okay, now I have to ask an all-important question because this is a serious comics question.
Mhm.
Did they successfully make Dr. Fate something other than a discount Doctor Strange?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that he has specific cheese, like with the helmet, that makes him not Doc Strange. But in comic, the comparisons have always been very stark, and it's always been very hard to discern who is better and who is more original.
No.
Kind of like the Man-Thing, Swamp-Thing differentiation.
So Pierce Brosnan, since he's a quality actor,
Yeah.
brought that very specific kind of old world British charm to the performance versus Doctor
Right.
Strange just being kind of an arrogant asshole.
Okay. Which
If
is
that
actually
makes sense.
extra funny since both are Europeans,
Right.
but one is
it
pretending to
actually-
be American.
And actually, I might after the show go watch Goldeneye after this, just because I was like, damn, Pierce Brosnan was such a good Bond.
And they have the
Agreed.
classic Dr. Fate and Hawkman character arc where, if you know the comics, you know what happens with Helmet and Hawkman in the comics. So they do that classic arc well. You believe Pierce Brosnan's character, you do not believe the guy playing Hawkman at all. Because again, he's trying to outboring the performance of The Rock.
Oh.
And they have a guy.
I swear they had a bet on set, like, let's see who can play this the most straight and boring in this ridiculous movie.
And then they introduce Atom Smasher, who's basically tall, muscular Spider-Man. I mean, he did a good job playing the performance, but he was playing tall, muscular Tom Holland. And they had the female Red Tornado daughter as Black Goth chick, who's smart.
Okay.
And the female actress who played that character was enjoyable. She was nice. She was a pleasant experience to see on
I'll be
screen.
right back.
Okay, so are you meaning she looked good or she was a good actress?
I'm saying she communicated a person who's nice and who's pleasant to be around in her
Okay,
performance.
so how big were her boobs?
Not that big at all.
Okay. All right. There goes my joke.
On a scale from 0 to Dutch angle.
I mean, they would definitely have looked a lot bigger if there was a Dutch angle applied. And Adam Smasher inherited his superpowers somehow from his uncle. I don't know how that happens, but it does. And his uncle was played by Henry Winkler in the nice cameo.
Oh, nice, Henry Winkler. But I watched not a review. I watched a commentary by Andre Anhariar. No.
Andre from Midnight's Edge. Yeah.
From Midnight's Edge, yeah. Because he was talking about the political backlash that's going on. And part of it was his review of Black Adam as a viewer. Just, I saw it, here's what I think. And he said his comparison was to say that Adam Smasher was a discount Ant-Man. Or at least that the actor could have been better used and that the material was not handled very well. Basically, again, it's a big mess.
Yeah.
And that's not out of the realm of possibility. And I can see why that would be the thing. If, again, it's a legacy character inheriting a job who gets big. Good job, guys. Good job.
So
the source of my groan is not necessarily that there's anything wrong with what you've said. It is the direct one-to-one parallels with the Avengers and MCU that I can see, where yet again, DC is playing second fiddle to something Marvel already blazed and burned out. Good job, guys.
So then, of course, we come up to the fight sequence where the team fights Black Adam.
Cue the fight scene.
And they lose. And the mom, goes, hey, sure, he's dangerous guy, but you guys haven't helped us out with our political problems.
Just caught mouse number 3 of the night with these new mouse traps.
So the attempt to be political is like, hey man, where was your big multinational superhero team helping us when these mercenaries overthrew our country's government? Spoiler alert, they didn't overthrow their country's government, but we'll get to that later.
It's a reasonable question, though.
It is a reasonable question, which the superheroes were like,
He's on a line. He's not wrong.
That would have been a better line to have put in the movie.
We're government agents here. You need to take that up with your representative and your president and the deep state. It was you, by the way, because I remember you going on. Well, they wouldn't know that, but
yeah.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry to report you live in in a Middle Eastern hellhole, and we don't communicate with your imam.
And then the bad guys go after the kid because the kid took the crown of absolute evil to hide it. And then they kidnap the kid, and the mom says, listen, whoever gets my kid back, I'll give the crown of absolute evil to. I'm super serial.
Super serial, guys.
And then the superheroes all go to chase down multiple bikes of the bad guys, but they're bikes that fly. They're hover bikes, which is pretty awesome. And
wait,
Black Adam.
This is all one movie?
This is all one movie. This is all one movie.
Okay, this already sounds like we're halfway through a 10-episode season.
Good news. We've just gotten to the second act of the movie.
Holy shit.
Jeez.
What is it, like every scene a new episode? Like, holy shit.
And Black Adam murders people when they don't tell him what he wants to know and is not super effective about it. The other superheroes capture those people to be interrogated.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does his best Christian Bale impersonation, but growlier and flatter?
No. He does that later. We haven't gotten him doing the Christian Bale impression.
Okay.
But that is what comes next.
Where are they?
Eventually, Hawkman brings some people back and says, hey, maybe if you didn't murder everybody, we could interrogate them and find some stuff out. And then he takes them into a storm and he says, the first one to tell me where the kid is gets to live. He dropped one guy who said, I'm not telling you anything. The other guy tells him stuff, also gets dropped. then Hawkman was like, WTF, we said we weren't going to kill anybody. I said, I didn't kill anybody. But you were
Wait a
there.
minute.
I waited for you to be there so you could save both of them. Good job.
Oh, come on.
Uh,
Oh,
I need more alcohol.
no.
Then they all team up together to go to the bad guy's fortress, which
Why can't my pizza be here already?
All right, I'm gonna go get some more alcohol. Be right back.
All right.
I wish I had alcohol.
then they
They
go to the bad guy's...
DoorDash that shit now, Raven.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do, and they charge a hell of a markup for it.
But it's worth it.
So they go to the bad guy's fortress, and Hawkman and his team have this really great plan. But you know what? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has a better plan. What if I fly in there and just start punching everybody?
As you do.
Oh no!
And
And
lightning
it works.
people.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Larry, you know what this sounds like? You know why this is a big mess? When they were writing the script, they literally sat down and just played a superheroes role-playing game and then used the session notes as the script.
Oh.
The production history is even more troubled and problematic than this.
Oh gosh!
Well, because that's exactly what a given type of player would do. It's like I'm gonna make a character that looks like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and is just super powerful. And what do? I punch things. What is your solution for problems? I punch. I punch
things.
harder. I punch harder when it doesn't break.
I
Did it
thrust my
break?
fist into something until it makes kinetic energy, and that's how I do things.
I
So-
cast fist and touch the fist dimension.
So they eventually confront the villain, and the villain's like, listen, I'm totally going to murder this kid if you don't give me the crown of absolute evil.
I cast fist.
And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson
I
almost-
cast detect fraud.
almost fails to keep the kid alive. He almost does.
Oh,
Oh no!
And that made
You
him
mean-
realize that.
You mean fist was insufficient to this task?
And then we reveal his tragic backstory and how he's not really the hero that the people of this poor Middle Eastern country think he is.
yeah, no shit.
And he agrees to get taken away to the black site by Amanda Waller so that the world can be safe from him. But ... turns out the villain who totally got exploded, that was all part of his plan.
Of course,
Because he
it
needed
was.
to be exploded so he'd get to where the demons are to get the demons' power. And this has been a 5,000-year plan of the demons.
Oh, right. Because the demon's planning is that good. It's like, okay, guys, we're going to take a 10,000-year vacation so that one guy can get us out of our imprisonment to cause problems.
5,000. And the thing is,
But it
his
entirely
ancestor was...
hinges. It entirely hinges on another guy punching a guy
Yeah.
in the
Because
Middle
that's what-
East
Because
in
that's
the
what you
year
did.
2000.
Because that's what you did 5,000 years ago.
I have to
Yeah.
respect they played the long game.
Well, you see, it was supposed to work 5,000 years ago, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson snapped that guy's neck
Yeah.
and murdered everybody in the general vicinity of that guy.
Oh wait. Okay, so it's not even that murder is wrong, just the style of murder. If Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had just snapped more necks and punched less, then it would have worked.
you
This
see-
is the Punisher with punches instead of guns.
Well, you see, 5,000 years
the
ago,
the
he killed him
puncher,
before
one
he
might say.
activated. Yeah, 5,000 years ago,
damn it.
he killed them before they activated the demon's plan, versus killing them after activating the demon's plan.
Larry, keep talking about Black Adam because I will talk about anything other than what Ayrton just put on the screen.
And so, Dr. Fate and the Justice Society go in a race against time to try to stop the bad guy. But Dr. Fate realizes there is one way to stop the bad guy, which is to have Black Adam single-handedly break out of Amanda Waller's black site and come and fight the bad guy. And he dies, buying enough time for Hawkman and Black Adam to successfully beat up the bad guy, the Black Adam rips his head off.
I don't
then
know
Black
who's,
Adam's like-
who's laughing so hard and what exactly you're laughing at, but I enjoy it.
I'm pretty sure he's laughing about her penis.
And then Black Adam, instead of having like he's badass Snyderverse costume, has a normal superhero costume. He's like saying, I'm not going to rule this country. I'm just going to be its protector.
Of course.
And then
Yes.
after credit scene with Superman.
Now,
The end.
now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Black Adam was the ruler of that country, right? In
In
the
the comic
comics?
book.
Okay.
So the politics are, well, these rich capitalist people, we can't let them save us. We have to save ourselves. So the kid leads a citizens' rebellion against the armies of hell that have temporarily occupied the country.
Wait, it's the Middle East, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we don't lead citizens' rebellions against the often abusive extremist regimes that make our lives horrible,
Or the militant
we'll
mercenaries who are
totally-
occupying it.
but will totally raise local resistance against demons from hell.
Yes.
Oh, for the love of fuck.
Because demons from hell, I would hide from. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, they weren't really demons from hell. They were more like zombies.
Oh.
Oh,
So this was, without a doubt, one of the worst written movies I have ever watched.
Oh, it's so bad.
But
So-
The
so
Rock
Rune-
punching people was charming.
So, Rune, the really, really terrible movies that I love that you guys give me shit for because I have horrible taste.
yeah.
It's imagine that, but with a several $1 million budget.
Well, see, there's a difference.
And no redeeming qualities.
There's a difference.
Right.
See, I also like bad movies,
Same.
but I like bad movies that are inoffensively bad. You like space Negroes from outer space.
Oh my god. I think I've actually seen that title somewhere.
Dude,
The
it's a real movie.
The
It's so
actual
good.
the actual title is more offensive, and I don't want to.
I
say
know.
it.
I know. Like I said, I think I've seen that movie lingering around, and I was
Dude,
like,
it's
okay.
on YouTube. It's like 26 minutes long. It's so good.
But
Oh my god.
yeah, so that's Black Adam, and that was the movie.
no.
They talk
They
about
are
the
still
superhero
trying to catch
industrial
up to the
complex.
MCU, obviously.
I would actually mildly entertain the concept of a superhero industrial complex.
That's actually an interesting idea. Right? Like I want them to go forward with that. Like have an Alex Jones character that's calling out the government for creating superheroes and them not
Well,
being
that's-
accountable for the destruction they do, but not
That's
in
J.
a
Jonah Jameson in the last few Spider-Man movies.
yes, but do it good.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
do
wait
it
a minute.
like shit.
How does J.K. Simmons not do that well?
No. He does what he's given well.
Right.
What we're saying is he should be given better material.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Like-
I'll
like,
totally
I-
get on board with.
Like I want J.K. Simmons outside of Avengers Tower with a megaphone, like yelling at
Oh
the
my
Avengers.
god, that would be
Like
amazing.
that's what I
Saying
want.
the Chitauri invasion was an inside job.
Right. That that would be fantastic.
So
Oh yeah, J.K. Simmons, with a megaphone going, the Chitauri
Well,
invasion
was
was a
kind
hologram.
of was. I mean, that what was that doctor's name? He was working with the Tesseract, right?
Oh,
And then
yeah.
Loki showed up and took over him and a bunch of other people who were government agents. So yeah, it kind of was.
But let's talk about the general
what did-
decline in the craft of writing for a moment, because this was not the
What did
most
you make
offensive thing with writing.
What did you make me just look at?
We'll bring up that link there.
All right.
So we've not talked a lot about Rings of Power because Rings of Power is terrible. And at the end of Rings of Power, Discount Aragorn, as he's been called by numerous different YouTubers, turns out was Sauron.
Oh,
Or
sorry,
the thing
wrong one.
The thing you realized from the beginning. And everyone was like going, no, this is all part of Sauron's master plan. And the guy on Twitter broke it down very effectively. Sauron didn't plan to get shipwrecked, trapped on a raft, and almost eaten by a sea worm twice. He didn't plan on meeting Galadriel, an elf who, astonishingly, had just jumped out of her ship to somehow swim the entire length of the Sundering Seas in the middle of the ocean. Sauron didn't plan to be rescued by the Númenóreans. He didn't plan for Galadriel to refuse to believe that he'd stolen the symbol from a dead man, as he told her, then insist that he was a king, while he insisted he wasn't. He didn't plan to be out in a prison for theft and assault. Sauron didn't plan for Galadriel to somehow convince Númenor to send ships to Middle-earth. He didn't plan to be caught in the pyroclastic flow from the eruption of Mount Doom, which he survived somehow. He didn't plan to be stabbed by a lance off-screen. He didn't plan to get an infected gut wound. And really, who plans to get an infected gut wound? Sauron didn't plan for Galadriel
I typically do when we go to do the show.
Oof. Sauron didn't plan for Galadriel to force him to ride 6 days to Eregion, the stronghold of his millennial-old enemies, to be under the care of elven healers who somehow didn't sense he's a Maiar. He didn't plan for Celebrimbor to let him assist on a project he couldn't have known existed. Sauron didn't plan on some grand scheme to seize power. He didn't even align to Galadriel. She orchestrated everything that happened to him, often in defiance of his explicit requests. He was ignored because Galadriel always insisted she's right. Sauron didn't plan on corrupting the rings. He didn't plan to assassinate Elrond or Gil-galad. He didn't plan to sabotage Celebrimbor's project, or steal Mithril, or do anything he could have easily done to ensure the elves would either die or leave Middle-earth. Sauron didn't murder Galadriel when she confronted him about his true identity. Instead, he offered her to be the anchor for his redemption. Galadriel is furious. He wants to be a king to heal Middle-earth. Honey, you told the Southlands he was their king. What the show establishes in its utter fumbling, incompetence, and defiance of the most basic Tolkien lore is that Sauron of the Third Age is entirely a creation of a deceitful, manipulative Galadriel whose cruelty and rejection drives a repentant being back to being evil. Or, as the classic D&D meme goes, around elves, watch yourselves. In summary, Sauron is a penitent nobody, and happy to remain so, as long as he has a forge to work in and some metal to bang on, until a shrill, pushy Karen of an elf drags him back to power, even though he begs her not to, then crushes him when he asks her out. This show is poison. Addendum. But Sauron could have orchestrated all of this merely seem like coincidence. He saves Galadriel from drowning twice. He gives her dagger back twice. He provides Celebrimbor with a solution to allowing the entire elven race to remain on Middle-earth. Galadriel didn't know who Sauron was, but Sauron certainly knew who she was. Ignore that he could have killed his greatest, most relentless foe 1,000 times during the course of the show by doing nothing. He could have let her die, left her defenseless, let her race disappear. So sure, I suppose there could be a reason Sauron needs Galadriel, the elves, to be alive and active in Middle-earth as part of his evil scheme to rule all of Middle-earth. What these writers actually thought, though, was that Galadriel friend-zoned sad boy Sauron into Mordor. Addendum number 2.
Stacy's strike again.
Exactly. The Eye of Sauron, Farsight, elves under his control. Watch this scene from episode 5. In this, a devious Sauron manipulated Galadriel, or is the repentant Sauron being henpecked by an arrogant, violent scold, asking him to exchange the peace he now knows for war? And now,
we're not
watch
going to
this
watch
scene.
it, by the way.
No, we're not. Who is Sauron manipulating this moment of quiet solitude reflection for the benefit in his rejection, then acceptance of the false identity that Galadriel had pressed upon him for us, the audience? Surely not. The violent criminal escapes his former life only to be reluctantly dragged back into a perfectly valid story to tell. See History of Violence, starring Viggo, Aragorn Mortensen, or John Wick. This is not Sauron's story as told by Tolkien. This is soap opera Sauron. So, Rune, what do you think about this very cromulent description of horrible writing by people given $500 million to make a TV show?
Wait, where was the other 500 million then? I thought it was $1 billion.
Well, it was 500 million for this season.
What?
Yeah.
There's 2?
Yes. But the
Kidding.
next season.
Please tell me you're kidding.
No, the next season's not going to be out for like 3-4 years, though.
Oh, fuck off.
Well, Raven, what do you think about this perfectly cromulent description of horrible writing?
Well, I'll just go back to something my dad used to tell me, and it's very simple. You can't polish a turd.
Actually, MythBusters showed you could.
MythBusters may have actually effectively polished an actual turd, but this one is not polishable. It's runny on a hot day.
I have used this euphemism.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And also, what do you think, Rune, of this trend of modern contemporary quote-unquote writers that all villains have to be redeemed and redeemable and complicated?
Well, it sounds like a writer's version of I Can Fix Him.
It does.
It really does, yeah.
Here's the
Which,
thing.
Funny enough, all the writers, well, I'm pretty sure all the writers were women, weren't they?
Well, no, not for this
Maybe not all
show.
of them.
It was two guys who got their job because they were really good friends with J.J. Abrams.
First and foremost, I'm just gonna throw out there.
Sure, they're not trans.
I just want to throw out there because the link was shared. Soder, I love the Last Ring Bearer. That thing is great. But that's actually good. The thing is that the real problem isn't about whether or not villains can be redeemed or need to be redeemable. It's a lack of craft in a more generalized sense. Because I can see a hypothetical, non-existent alternate reality where you could have a story in which Sauron appears to be conflicted and appears to be undergoing a redemptive arc, and it's a long con, right?
So no,
but the thing is that it's not the story that they give you in Rings of Power.
No, it's not. It's the story that Tolkien gave you in the Silmarillion and the other books.
Right, because the secret here is that Sauron was an insurgent. He was beautiful and manipulative and talked people into making very bad decisions.
Well,
and he did that because he believed that an orderly world is better.
Well, more than that, Tolkien comes from the era where good is good and bad is bad. We don't have this blurring of the lines, if you would, and we don't have this whole like complex villain. Like maybe they can be redeemed. Maybe I can fix her. You know, like this morgue worker that gave birth to a dead man's baby that I pulled up on screen.
The thing is that it's not even new. I mean, I know lots of people that are mad because they're treating it like it's new. This is 30 years old. Because it used to be not so much we can redeem them. It used to be, oh no, they're just victims of a broken home. They were raised bad.
I didn't say new. I said Tolkien's era.
No, I'm just saying. I've heard a lot of people talk about, well, I don't get this redeemed villain thing like it's new. It's not new. We know it's not new.
But morgue worker arrested after giving birth to a dead man's baby. Kansas City, Missouri. A 26-year-old morgue worker was arrested this morning after a DNA test revealed that her newborn child was the result of a necrophilic intercourse with a man she was supposed to autopsy. Soder, comment.
I want to believe this is fake. Oh shit, it's actually real. Wait, no. Fact check. AFP says it's false. I don't know. I want to believe this is fake. There's no way this is real.
Is it necromancy? I was almost saying, is it necromancy? Is it necrophilia if the person who's molesting the corpse also looks like a corpse?
I don't think it is.
Damn.
But you know, a little Botox around the eyes, maybe a couple cucumbers, you know, have a nice spa day. She might look all right after that.
Yeah, she looks like she spent a little too much time in the morgue.
I'm sorry. Wolfgar has already asserted you can't polish a turn.
Yeah, you really can't.
Oh, thank goodness it actually is. Not real. Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Every so often,
Here's the original article.
Every so often, it has to be proved that humanity actually is worth saving.
I mean, Poe's law is a growing concern. We've reached a point where it's difficult to determine what is fake and what isn't. But something that isn't fake.
My faith in comedy has been restored.
Excellent. Something that isn't fake that I'm going to send over to Ayrton here in a moment.
Well,
is
it also
apparently there's no state or federal laws governing the outlaw of necrophilia. What?
Necrophilia, the insatiable desire to crack open a cold one.
Well,
wait, what are you?
The thing I am sharing with Ayrton, it's on the Discord. It is pretty gay, and I'd like you to share it with the audience.
So it is both fake and gay.
All right.
Well, I mean, it is something a Twitter mutant posted as an idea of what they want the future of DC Comics to be. So it's posted by Twitter.
You had to send it to like the slowest loading program that you could have sent me something on.
I mean, it's also on the Twitter, but like I figured it would be easier to put it on Discord because having to scroll all the way up to find where I posted it on the Twitter.
I mean, that's fair. You could have also just like sent it to my Twitter. What the fuck? Why isn't it? Okay, hold on.
Here,
hold on.
Let me
Let
me just repost it on Twitter then.
I will share a lie and say that sometimes we even come off like we're prepared.
This is not one of those moments.
No.
All right, so I put.
Hold on, I got it. I just had to open it outside of Discord because for some reason StreamYards won't share Discord.
Again, it's because the furries know how to competently code.
Yeah.
This was something I
they
saw
learned
from.
to code.
Oh, jeez.
This is something I saw from a horrible Twitter mutant.
Rune, if you would.
No, I mean I heard about this tweet. I heard about it. I did not see it. I am still deeply bothered by it.
What of the many perfectly valid reasons are there to be bothered by it?
Well,
how we've now recontextualized the Harley Quinn Poison Ivy relationship to be heterosexual.
Well, there's that, but let's also walk through that. It was inferred to me that the reason she's trans is because her parents were cross-dressers. So let's be clear here. Trannies make you trans. Being trans means that a man became a woman so they could be abused by a man in a toxic relationship. So they can become gay to be in a toxic relationship with a woman.
Who also abuses her.
You lost me. I don't understand any of that. There's too many flippings going on.
So basically, DC Comics has decided to take a character that was a simple character of a woman who was twisted by a manipulative, charismatic psychopath.
I mean, exactly what you want in a comic to trigger the male
the libs,
propensity to save a woman, right?
Mm-hmm. And then she became friends with another female psychopath, and they had side adventures. And people said, "Well, two women can't just be friends; they have to be gay for each other." And now they've decided to make the character even more marketable by associating the character with trans issues. And so the Twitter mutants are saying, well, we need to make Harley Quinn trans. So what they're saying is she was groomed by her parents because they associated her as a child with trans people to be marketable. Then she was groomed by Mr. J. Then she was groomed by Harley.
So what they're saying
I'm just going to throw out there, secret history. We're going to discover that Baby Doll, who's the person with a physical disability who's in a sexual relationship with Killer Croc, is actually her sister and or mother.
Yes.
Both. Yeah.
I think
that character needs to be classified as Alabama Man.
But
Alabama Man.
But Rune, I want you to give the breakdown.
He shoots chromosomes out of his fingertips.
Rune, I want you to give that breakdown you did in our chat of like how Harley's relationships would actually be if she was trans in the various forms. Like, do the math for
was
it.
that in show links or was that in shit posting?
I think
I think it was in show links.
I mean, you could just say it again.
No, that's why I'm looking it up because I want to say the correct terminology.
Oh, okay. All I know is I had to do math to figure out what you were talking about, and I made a joke about that. It was like that was a few days ago now.
Yeah, I'm up to
It was Tuesday.
That's what
Okay.
you think.
All right. There we go. Okay, so her being raised by cross-dressers have her a sexual dysfunction that led to her being exploited by evil clown man. And you said, as is tradition. And then Larry said, why do you make me do this? Here we go. And again, this fails the representation as now Harley is moving between sexual identities with an air of desperation, looking for the sense of self that will make her whole, failing to be any of them, which is unintentionally implies that trans people are faking it.
Well,
And then here we go.
I mean, where's
quote.
the lie?
Okay, wait, cute. So a character made for Batman the Animated Series, as a woman, who is a woman, who was in an abusive heterosexual relationship, must now become a lesbian and then become trans. Does this mean that Harley is a man who became a woman for the Joker, and Harley Ivy is actually a hetero couple, while Joker Harley is a gay couple? Not breaking canon, Joker's been presented as bi for decades because he's batshit insane. Or is Harley a woman who wants to be a man now?
And don't forget, they have been wanting to associate evil clowns and monsters as a queer icon.
Right. Because clearly making gays out to be murderers is a positive depiction that's going to help the LGBTQ community gain acceptance with mainstream middle America.
Oh, that's great, because the
He's
shitty
literally
Netflix
me.
movie the shitty Netflix movie I opened with before you got on, The School for Good and Evil, it's all about how all the evil kids are basically dressed up like vaguely queer punk kids.
This hurts me.
I'm gonna get canceled for that laugh.
Well, Wolfgar and I were talking about alignment in D&D, and its applicability or why or not. And this is one of them things.
This is a clear demonstration of chaotic neutrality if I've ever seen one.
Is that chaotic neutrality?
It's a clear example of not understanding why there have to be practical fundamentals as a baseline in order to recognize extremity for what it is.
But also, this whole era of representation has been quite fascinating for me because it's all been terrible, pretty much exclusively. But it's inadvertently shown me by showing how bad it is. It's like saying, "Well, this could actually be good if you guys put any effort into it."
Raven, you know your camera's on, right?
Yeah.
Woo.
Okay.
He's
Making us all look
choosing.
bad.
We're gonna do a solo layout here then.
I mean, it also looks not half bad. It could be church.
Well, I mean,
Church's beard
does-
is way better. No offense.
Yeah, church does the whole ZZ Top beard thing.
I don't know. My beard's pretty awesome.
Doxing. You're doxing the man. Stop doing that.
Hey. Church is a fine, upstanding citizen of Toadsuck, Arkansas.
I don't know. I got a
that-
pretty good beard.
That's epic.
You need to get some beard oil in there, Rune.
I really do. I need beard oil and I need mustache wax because I need those. I need those turned up musketeer mustachios. But no, man. The thing is like, yeah, if they exerted any effort, they could actually do something good. And this just harkens back to that continuing conversation about what are the long-term effects of a generation of children raised on participation awards. Right? My thing is I stand by I take pride in my craft. I want to do it right the first time because I value onto myself whether or not I'm working, half a damn. Because I have to look myself in the mirror and be able to go, I did the best I could. Right?
Hey, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were drunk on scotch throughout the whole making of the Super Mario Brothers movie.
But it was amazing.
I'm getting drunk on rye, so maybe we can make something amazing.
Yeah, but the Super Mario Brothers movie, in comparison to what we've been talking about, was actually entertaining. I won't say good, but entertaining. I would watch it.
Are you saying that Dennis Hopper as an evil dinosaur is the best version of Sauron since Peter Jackson?
Yes. that is exactly what we're saying.
Best Sauron.
And don't forget, in the Super Mario Brothers movie, there was trans representation. There was a cross-dressing club owner.
True.
Oh, you're right. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up a picture for anyone watching this doesn't believe us.
Like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which Rune's a fan of, and so am I, had a bit of trans representation too with Dax, because we went through how many seasons of Terry Farrell in the role talking to Avery Brooks's character, and he kept referring to her as old man because that's how he remembered her.
I will also mention that DS9 in particular, and Voyager to an even greater extent, and we won't talk about Enterprise, had some anviliciously awful representation episodes.
It's a very shitty, very small picture,
because that is the era of the Ellen gay kiss, and then everyone else needed their gay kiss, right? And we had the unobtrusive. There was a lot.
When's your gay kiss coming, Rune?
I have kissed a man, but that's none of your business, is it?
Wait.
Don't look at me. I'm not kissing him.
I don't want to excite your micro penis too much, Ayrton. I know
world's largest micro penis. How dare you?
No, Raven. He has that on his dating app profiles, and
it's on my Twitter bio. What do you mean?
It's official. It's an innie. There's paperwork on it and everything.
and he gets good results on that, and then women are disappointed.
I have a girlfriend.
This is a joke.
I have a girlfriend now, Larry. Remember, I don't have a Twitter or a Tinder bio anymore.
Of course you don't.
This is the thing. On a weird side comment. Wolfgang and I were talking about the peer groups we interact with and this propensity towards extremity, where people who are mad about extremists trying to tell you how to do what you want to do, starting to express the same sorts of conservative, gatekeepy ideologies. We need to keep out these problem makers by being problem makers. And this podcast is an example of the counter argument, which is we are reasonably outrageous around here.
Oh no, we'll gatekeep shit.
I mean,
there are people who should gatekeep, but you shouldn't gatekeep
I don't
ideas.
know. You guys let me on
people.
this stream, so
what I'm getting at though is that in conversation we seem to be pretty relaxed about our content and how we present that information because we're all expected to be decent human beings. Like that's the basic expectation. Can you be decent?
It's a classic meme. Classic meme.
We're going into more nerd talk, so I looked up nerd meme.
Ayrton, I'm wearing a T-shirt that says "I paused my game to be here." So,
I believe that.
I miss the days of everyone having their own forum for their friend group. Like there was that one nerd in the group who was like, I'll install PHPB or whatever and run the community, right?
Some
a
of us are old
mistake.
enough to remember people having their own BBSs, bro.
Ayrton.
That's it. Go crawl in a hole, dinosaur.
Ayrton.
Hold on. There you go.
There you go. Woo. Proof.
But the problem isn't you shouldn't gatekeep ideas. You should gatekeep bad people. It's like you remember that classic Simpsons episode where Lisa Simpson says, "Aha, I'm a girl here to play football," and Ned Flanders like, "Oh great, come join our team." Well, I want to play quarterback. That's good. Our starting quarterback is also female. And then Lisa stormed out.
Right.
She wanted to be the only one.
So
That is appropriate gatekeeping. When there's a person who's clearly going to be in trouble and be a bad influence at your table, being a toxic person, you gatekeep that person out of your life.
well,
You don't-
and so what's crazy about that? So speaking of sports, the sports I've done in my life are fencing and then shooting sports, archery, firearms, whatever.
Did you want to be a
Women-
pentathlete when you grew up?
No, that sounds like too much work. I just like swords and guns. It's that simple, Larry.
You like
Anyways,
stabbing and blowing shit up, and sometimes
Yeah.
you use titties too. You know?
Fuck
right.
yeah.
The three
But-
gentlemen sports.
but in those sports, women are weirdly naturally better at a lot of the basics when it comes to shooting and even fencing than men are. It's very, very odd, and I've noticed it dozens of times. Like taking new shooters out, women tend to be more natural at getting the shot on target quicker and more precise. Even though their forms and stances and everything are terrible, they still get on target easier than a new male shooter. Same with fencing. Women tend to be very, very good in fencing and HEMA and those kind of sports. It's very, very odd, but good on them. I want more of everybody to do those sports.
I mean, it's also.
But you know what a pentathlete is, right, Ayrton?
No, but
You had
I
to do- you had to
figure
do
there's
fencing?
there's 5 things, and that sounds tiring.
You had to do fencing. You had to do equestrian. You had to run. And you had to shoot. And there was
That's 4.
I think you also had to swim in there too.
Okay, that
So
actually sounds kind of fun.
And General Patton participated in that sport before he was a general.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Fencing, shooting, swimming, riding, and cross-country running. Huh.
Yeah.
If I knew that was a thing when I was younger, I would so do that. I mean, running sucks, but everything else sounds fun.
I mean, I find it interesting because you often get into conversations in the nerd sphere and academic circles where they're trying to discredit the very notion of women didn't go to war because women would never go to war because they're here to make babies. And it's like, no, man. If a dude kicks in your door and is going to murder rape you, and you have to defend yourself, guess what? You're going to defend yourself. It's not a gendered issue. To presume that women never learned the sword or had the capacity to fight is a fallacy. Of course they did. That's not the same as saying that Amazons, the mythical all-women society of super warriors, didn't exist.
Right. And so I think like a month or 2 ago, I took my girlfriend shooting for the first time. She's never touched a gun, except one time she knocked over a glass of water on my gun I keep like on my nightstand and picked it up and didn't realize it was a real gun. That was the first time she had ever touched one. So I was like, okay, let's go to the range. She was like right on target, hitting center of mass. And all I had to say was, "You're a bit low." And she brought it up and was doing like kill shots at I don't know, 10 to 15 yards. I think I started her at.
My brother,
And I was
Pretty
like,
decent.
your girlfriend is a CIA assassin.
Probably. She's probably a Fed. Let's be real. But
No, she is a Fed.
Yeah. And I've noticed that time after, like, not just her, like other women I've taken to the range for the first time, they're so much quicker at just being able to line the gun up gun up to get a kill shot. I don't know if they just have a pent up aggression over years of being beaten and having having their periods that they just want to kill something.
X family on point about women being brutal and efficient assassins?
I think
1,000%.
I think that in the civilian sphere, women, in the pejorative sense, have serious problems with confidence. Some of which is enculturated because they've been told, "Well, you can't do that. That's a girl thing," or "You can't do that. It's a boy thing." And it's like, no, ignore those people. Disregard those opinions. You can do anything you put your mind to. It might be harder. It might be more difficult. You might not actually be able to meet the physiological demands if it's somehow if there's an added layer of difficulty. But nobody said you couldn't try.
Right, and that's the thing. I got into a Twitter discussion. We're gonna go to this for the last few minutes, I guess.
Oh boy.
With some people about the Second Amendment and self-defense and stuff, because I'm an absolutist, and it was somebody who's trans, who I'm a mutual with on Twitter, who's also a firearms enthusiast. I forgot what they were talking about specifically. Something about the whole allyship and that being, kind of a like a red flag, right? And so I said, I'm a liberty ally. I don't care who you are, but all of these rights are human rights, whether you're trans, straight, normal, gay, whatever. Essentially is what I said. And that tweet kind of took off for a while. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Like, it doesn't matter who you are as a person. You have rights to this, and I think we need more people. Every single minority, every single majority, every single person should be part of this. I don't want to say hobby necessarily, because you get a little too in the weeds and a little too autistic, kind of like I am when it comes to like firearm stuff. But
I mean,
I think
you might be a little retarded.
Yeah, I'm a little retarded. But everybody should have the opportunity to try. Like, I'm not gonna, if some random person comes up to me and is like, "Hey, I know you're into guns, I kind of want to try out shooting, will you take me?" I'd be like, sure, whether they're black or a trans or even female. Like, it really doesn't matter.
I know you actually said, but my brain, I just hear you say if they're black or a train.
No, I said or a trans.
No, I know.
Here's something like when we're talking about women doing things or going into battle. Oh, that never happens. A woman's place is at home. Obviously, these people have never heard of the night witches. And for people who just don't know what the hell that is, that was a group of Soviet women who were still part of the Russian military, but they were treated as second-class citizens. In fact, they were given World War I biplanes during World War II. And what they would do is they would take off, they'd reach a certain altitude, and then they would kill the engine and then just glide in over targets at night, and then they would pull bombs out of where they were sitting. So they were sitting with these bombs. They'd pull them out and they just start hucking them, down below, blowing things up, scaring the hell out of the Nazis. And then when they ran out of bombs, they would throw railroad spikes.
I mean, that tracks for the Russian military.
Badass. And there's an RPG all about it. And I bought it because that story to me is amazing.
There's a good Sabaton song
So-
for that
so-
as well.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
So according to this, the attack technique involved idling the engine, not necessarily cutting it and gliding
okay. Idle.
to
Okay.
the bomb
That's
release
correct.
point.
The thing is that then those same kinds of commentators will move the goalpost, which we should all be really familiar with, and be like, "Oh no, those are a modern example with technology allowing women to do things they couldn't do before." I'm saying ancient women didn't. It's like, no, you're making bullshit up to try and support your point.
That's
Women
completely
have
disingenuous,
obviously always been fighting
Well,
because everybody has
Rune.
always been fighting.
right. Well, Rune, as a fellow enjoyer of the Nordic culture, we both know women were an important part of the battlefield. You had Valkyries that were women that chose who went to Valhalla. You had the women
Right, but
nurses
they
that were on
assert-
the front lines,
the
you know,
thing is they
treating the
assert that
soldiers.
No. Up until the 90s, all women were at home making babies. That
Were
is
they
a known
should be.
fact.
The problem is history is a lie we tell to ourselves. And the problem
And any,
is not the
and
lie.
any woman
Problem's the liar.
you hear in history is actually a man who dressed as a woman, because there's no way the men of history would let women become a part of history, because
But I
it is
thought,
history, not herstory.
but I
Oh,
thought
right.
Shakespeare was a black woman.
That's what they want you to think.
But
Does
the,
anybody feel
the
like
problem,
suicide yet?
the problem, though, isn't any of these perspectives and ideas. The problem is, again, toxic people who want to use these ideas to do harm. And these are bad people. They're bad people, and we've been cultured to be nice to them. We should say, this is a toxic person who's in my life. I should minimize them to the point that it is practical. And if removing them is practical, I should do that. I should opt to not be around that person.
Mm-hmm.
And for any kids who are out there, and if your kid's watching this podcast, what's wrong with you?
Go to bed. Yeah.
It's a school. Well, no, it's not a school night. It's Saturday night. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm working the weekend, so it's got me all screwed up.
It's a church night.
It's a
But,
church night. Yeah.
No, church
but
isn't
as-
here. It's not a church night.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Well, you got church the next morning. You got Sunday school. Damn it.
But as a man in
There's
his
no
middle
Sunday
40s,
school.
Make better
one of the
life
hardest-
decisions. Read a book.
yeah, I have learned as a man in my middle 40s, is one of the hardest things in life is to realize that the people who you think you value in your life, that you think they value you, they don't. And you really know they don't value you. So you should make sure and say, okay, I need to make sure this person's value in my life is appropriate. Some of them are relatives, and you can't say, listen, Granny, you're not doing enough for me. You're out. But,
I mean, you kind of can. I disagree with that. If your family's shit, you can totally tell them to fuck off.
yeah, but I mean,
Sure.
the family,
And confirm.
you have to kind of have to rack up a little bit more bad points. But still, the point is, there's some people you can't cut out totally, but you need to realize that they're bad people, and you're better off without them.
Well, I can simplify this whole thing, and to Rune's point, when he talks about like the whole gatekeeping thing, simply put, the only thing you can gatekeep is your own table, because for either side, doesn't matter which extreme they fall on, left, right, center, doesn't matter. When it comes down to gatekeeping, and it's we got to gatekeep this group out, or we got to gatekeep this group out, it's like, okay. So how do you propose to do that? Because are you going to set up bouncers at the front of every comic shop and gaming store? And now we got to check your credentials. How do you quantify that? How do you do it? And the fact is that's completely unenforceable. It's dumb. On top of that, there's absolutely nothing that one party or the other can do except either A, make your own stuff, gatekeep your table, and that's really it. Doesn't matter which side you fall on. That's the only thing you can do. So if you don't want to play with the Nazis, well, then it's very simple. Don't invite them to your table. Make your own shit. Play it right there. You're fine. ignore the other tables because you got yours.
Huh.
With those who don't want to play with, the blue haired crowd. Okay, well, don't invite them to your table. Play your own shit and ignore those other tables. Just focus on your table, mind your own damn business, leave everyone else alone. You're fine. Because the one thing that brings us all together is, number one, we love comics. I'm not, I've had a massive collection. I left it with a friend before I left.
Except for Soder, he's just kind of here and drinking.
Yeah,
but,
I'm here drinking.
We have a love.
Doug
We have a
Staple
love for
comics,
these.
and I own
We have-
Black Tide Rising comics.
But
And that's it.
Look, we
Some
have
of us
a
all love
love
alcohol,
for these
so
nascent
people-
art forms. That's my point. We all have a love for the nascent art form in some form or another. But the thing is, Rune has brought this point up before in both on my podcast and in private conversations, where we're decentralized and we're a little tribal. So, it's like, do you completely blast the land to pieces, warring over, where your tribe is situated? Because it doesn't make any sense. None at all. And that's what's ruining the hobby, really.
But again, the biggest thing I've learned about our current lifestyle and current world where toxicity is it's a cultural touchstone now is we need to take that a lot more seriously. There are toxic people out there, and you need to get rid of them in your life. And it's often the toxic people are the ones who come into your community and say, hey, I want you to do this thing my way, not the way that you've always been doing it. And the problem is not necessarily that they want to make a change in how your community does things. It's just this person's an asshole. You don't want to deal with them. You just don't want that person in your life. It's bad energy.
Well, that was the thing, is I referred to a conversation I was in earlier, in a private conversation. A conversation about conversations. And I said, my problem here was that this person was saying things that were awful. We used to call those people assholes. And you just didn't play game with them. They weren't wrong. That was their table. But you looked at them and said, this is a person who is drama personified. I don't need to seek them out.
When their love of the drama exceeds their love of the game or the art form, there's where your problem is. Plain and simple.
Sorry, Ravens just sorry, they just hit me. It hit me funny bone.
And Soder, later you can blame church for saying, listen, I showed up to your show and you weren't even there.
I had
a really good time.
I already sent him a gift saying I miss you.
Look at those nerd shit I had to listen to while you were gone, church.
I will say this was the best churchless Gospel of Comics we've ever had.
Really? That's a sad statement.
Oh, rip.
There are previous episodes we've done without church, and I'm generally not a fan of those episodes because church adds something to the energy. But it's clear now we need at least one additional person in the chemistry to make Ayrton, Rune, and I work out really well. And we need something good when it's a movie review for me to go on a long tirade about, like Black Adam.
Well, these days that's going to be few and far between.
can we go on a tirade about White Adam?
Pointed this out, and it was a really good point. Film noir had its time, and you can see where it started to decline. Westerns, same thing. Even Clint Eastwood, who was you could see it. You could see the degeneration of the Western, particularly. And it's one of my favorites still. Pale Rider. You can kind of see where it's sort of on its way out. The superhero genre has been around for about 22 years or more now. We're starting to see the decline.
Well, here's the thing. Eastwood actually came in during the anti-Western period, though. He was really big in the anti-Western period, which is an entirely different subgenre of movie.
Well, that's when he got big, but he was in well before that.
But before we get into that, Raven, how do you, or I guess, what did you think of the Logan movie? Kind of the blend of the comic book movie and Western.
You know what? Honestly, that was one of those movies I loved. And
Okay, same.
Because now we're not seeing Wolverine as this invulnerable beast. Now he knows things aren't right with him, and he has to operate within a new set of limits while doing what he used to do, and he's been out of the game for too long. So that movie watched a lot like The Unforgiven, which I thought was another great Western.
Now, did you watch it just the original cut or the noir cut or both?
I haven't seen the noir cut yet.
It's okay. It's so much better.
Is it?
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but the little details, the way they did it, like the blood splatter, it's almost more visceral and more gory being in that black and white. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I gotta see that then.
And we could have talked about. I was about to say we could have talked about the ending to She-Hulk, but I didn't want to do that. At least the ending for Rings of Power was good enough to make fun of.
Should we talk about bacterial vaginosis then?
No,
we just said we're not going to talk about
I
She-Hulk.
think I'm all right. Oh, guys, come on.
Okay, I just found out that's an actual medical term, and I've been laughing about it for a week and a half straight. All right.
Yep, that's. I work in a pharmacy, so yeah, that's an actual medical.
I'm gonna
term.
have nightmares now, guys. Come on.
One of my coworkers made a joke about that, and I was like, There's no way that's real. And she was like, that's a real thing. And so I Googled it, and I've been laughing about it ever since because it's just a ridiculous name for a medical diagnosis.
Well, it comes across as ridiculous when you first hear it, but when you see like some of the treatments for it, that's when it starts getting a little more serious because you're like, okay, I can't laugh at this, especially when you're face to face with the person who's suffering it.
Luckily, I don't have a vagina to get a bacterial vaginosis in, so I'm gonna still laugh at it.
Hey, Ayrton, you said it's part of your marijuana business, like for medical marijuana.
I don't work in marijuana.
Well, I mean, you work at accessories.
I work in cigars.
I mean, they share accessories, though.
I mean, yes, my store sells marijuana accessories. I don't know how I could brand or market stuff.
I sell marijuana related accessories.
And everyone turns into Hank Hill. It's amazing.
You know what? That's what you could do for your King of the Hill reboot. You have Bobby Hill running a marijuana shop.
Well, Bobby, what are you going to do with all this marijuana and marijuana accessories?
That's
oh my God!
I don't know you.
Wait, who just did that Hank Hill voice?
That was me.
That was way too good.
Well, okay, understand. Like Tom Anderson, that was the voice that we heard in Beavis and Butthead before Hank Hill popped up, and they are almost exactly the same. But here's the kicker. Tom Anderson sounded exactly like my landlord when I lived down south. I'm serious as a heart attack. That guy, he sounded just like, well, I guess you're coming to pay the rent again. All right. Well, let me see if I can get you a receipt drawn up. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Tom Anderson. I'm renting from Tom Anderson.
And we did do a rewatch of the original Beavis and Butthead movie when the new one came out.
Did we?
Yeah. Well, no, I did it, I think, with somebody else then.
Oh.
If we didn't do it.
I was there. I believe you did it on
yes, you were there. At my friend's Jim's Discord thing. Yeah.
Why don't I get invited to this shit?
Well, I don't think you were available at the time.
And church doesn't show up.
Because you have a micro penis. We don't like you that much.
I have a micro penis and I have a micro penis, and one of my testicles hangs lower than the other two.
Exactly.
You know?
So that's now we can apply a Greek term to that, low testicles.
That's my new Twitter handle. Future warlord low testicles. I'm doing that right now.
But one of the things I liked about the original Beavis and Butthead movie is how well it holds up. Other than the Bill Clinton part,
Yeah.
everything else holds up.
Wait. I didn't see the
Definitely.
original. I saw the new one.
Oh,
What is this
you've
Bill
got-
Clinton
you've
thing
gotta
that
see the
doesn't hold
original.
up?
Beavis and Butthead Do
Well-
America is still hysterical.
The fact that there's sort of a weird Chelsea Clinton joke in there is kind of weird.
Hey, baby, I see you have braces. I have braces too.
Yep. That was the joke.
I'm gonna say something really weird, and you gotta understand this is old beef. I hate Chelsea Clinton.
Everybody hates the
Well, I
Clinton.
mean, Rune-
How is this old beef?
No,
Nobody
no,
likes
Rune.
the Clintons.
No.
Rude,
When I was a kid, Chelsea Clinton was somehow supposed to be America's sweetheart. They really wanted to push that logic.
Oh
Right?
yeah, I remember.
So, like, I have a Hulk comic
Ooh, I've
where
been, I've
Hulk
enough
is
time
getting
to make
attacked
another drink.
by aliens, right? And the news media is present, but they're not worried about the Hulk. They're worried about, oh no, are the aliens here for important person we won't name who we're only going to show from the back of the head because the implication is that this is Chelsea Clinton at college being and the Hulk is fighting aliens at the same campus. And it's like, I don't give a shit about Chelsea Clinton. I never have.
In fairness, that's less embarrassing than Obama's whole face being on the Spider-Man comic cover and being in the comic.
Well, I
No,
remember back in the 90s, there was a comic called Stormwatch where one of the members of Stormwatch is watching over, and they only named him the president, but you could see, like, from the half shadow they had his face in, that it was Bill Clinton talking to him.
The most embarrassing is the comic I fucking hated. It made my teeth hurt. Where Tony Stark is boxing Justin Trudeau, trying to justify civil war.
Hey, Justin Castro was a good boxing partner. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
Wait, Rune, are you not in on that joke?
I am not.
So, Pierre Trudeau, former Prime Minister of Canada, and his wife were rumored to be swingers. And his wife was rumored to be enamored of Cuban dictator Fidel Castro. And they made several diplomatic trips to Cuba. And so the popular joke in Canada is that Justin Trudeau is actually the illegitimate son of Fidel Castro.
Well,
Which is why he puts on the skin darkening products at a drop of a hat.
Well, now
He
I
is
know
a serial blackfacer.
Well, now I know the
That
deep
is
dark
true.
secret of why what Marvel's going to do with the X-Men now. Thank you. Well, you see,
You
the
are
X-Men
welcome.
are
Alright,
the X-Men.
well,
the X-Men
hold
are now
on.
plant people,
Real
and
real
Wolverine
quick.
and Cyclops swing. Therefore,
Mhm.
anyone who swings in the Marvel universe has been replaced by Krakoan plant people. So Tony Stark and Justin Trudeau are not Tony Stark and Justin Trudeau. They're mutants who have infiltrated government.
Real
I
quick, guys, hold on. But before we continue on this racist tirade, should we stay on this channel, or should we go over, or should we go over to mine and do an old-fashioned after-party stream like we used to do?
Well, the missus is going, honey, please come to bed. It's late.
Well, Soder, thank you so much for being
We have
here and
church in the
classing
morning.
up this joint.
I have church in the morning.
Oh my goodness. I feel so bad for you guys if you think I classed it up. Holy shit.
No, you did class it up. That is the sad part.
Oh, jeez. Well, thanks for having me, guys. I'll have to come on again when church is finally awake.
Right? And Larry disappeared.
Well,
Yeah, no.
one of us.
I'll be-
sorry.
I'll be in touch with you, Soder. I'll just if we're going live, I'll just send you links, and if you can show up, you can show up.
Thanks.
No problem.
Good night, everyone.
All right,
See you
man.
sometime.
Good
Thanks
night,
for
everybody.
popping on.
Okay, that was weird.
All right, yeah, you
that was
disappeared.
really
So Soder left. So, do you guys want to move on to an after party stream over on my channel?
I mean, I could goof around for a little bit more.
All right, give me
I'm always up for
one.
goofing off.
All right, give me 1 second.
Yeah, this is actually weird. I was having a conversation with Wolfgar.
I think I can actually do this while we're still live. So keep talking.
Okay. I was having a conversation with Wolfgar, and I realized, oh shit, I'm late for show. Oh shit, I gotta feed my mother. Oh shit, I gotta do all this stuff at once. And I was like, hey Wolfgar, I'm late for my podcast. Do you want to come along? And he was like, okay. So and now you're here. I'm actually happy because it's like, oh boy, you apparently spent your day at work, did all your adulting, and here you are hanging out with us, and you're having fun.
Live on my
channel.
All right,
we're
real
doing
quick.
God's work now.
Okay.
Real quick, Rune. I'm gonna you and Larry say your last couple words real quick.
Penis.
Bye, everybody.
All right, Raven. Anything for say while we're on the main channel before we go?
No, not much.
All right.
Just let's go party.
Hell yeah! Good night, everybody.